Resume recording. कर दिया. Hey guys, this is Niyati here from Plutus Academy, right? So today our topic of discussion is subject-verb agreement. Today we are going to learn about subject and verb relationship, right? See, subject and verb are connected to each other through some means, and let us understand how they are connected. Right now, you need to always remember one important thing, that if the subject of the sentence is a singular, then verb is also singular, right? And if your subject of the sentence is plural, then your verb is also plural. What I said, if the subject of the given sentence is a singular, your verb is also singular. If the subject of the given sentence is plural, your verb is also plural. See, it's already mentioned here, verb used in a sentence is always used according to the number of persons. That means verb always depends on the subject. Subject singular, verb singular, subject plural, verb plural, right? Now, okay, so the example which is mentioned here is he sings. Okay, before taking it further, let me explain you how we define subject, how we people define subject. See, the one about either whom we talk, or the one who is performing the action, who is doing a task in a sentence. The one who is either doing a task in a sentence or about whom or which we are talking is basically the subject of the sentence. For example, if I'm say Ram is walking. So Ram is doing what? Ram is walking, Ram is doing something in the sentence, which means Ram is the subject of the sentence. And if I say tea is grown in Assam. Now, we are talking about what? Here we are talking about tea. Tea is not doing anything here. Tea is not performing any task, but we are basically discussing tea. So, here the subject is tea. So, subject is basically the one either who is doing something in the sentence or we are talking about it, right? Now, I told you that verb depends on the subject. If subject is singular, verb is singular. Subject is plural, verb is plural. Verb used in a sentence is always used according to the number of persons. He sings. Now, he is singular here. So that's why we have used first form of verb plus s or es. See, you need to understand one thing. In simple present tense, with the singular subject, first form of verb plus s or es is used as per the requirement, and with plural subject, first form of a verb is used. What I'm saying that in simple present tense, with singular subject, verb first form plus ses is used, and with plural subject, first form of verb is used. Let us consider it here, right? He sings. Now, he is singular subject. So that's why first form of verb plus ses is used. Our verb is also singular. Here subject is singular he, that's why we have used sings. They sing. Here the subject is they. They are doing what? They are singing. So they are performing an action. So basically they is the subject. Is plural subject, so we are using first form of a verb. So the form of verb also always depends on subject. Subject singular, verb singular, subject plural, verb plural, right? Now, here is the basic list of singular verbs and plural verbs. Is, am singular verbs, are plural verb, was is singular verb, were plural verb, has singular verb, have plural verb. First, as I mentioned now only, first form of verb plus s or es is singular verb, and first form of verb is plural verb. For example, let us see. Ram is going. Ram is singular, we have used is. I am going. I singular, am. We are going. We plural, are plural. Ria was busy. Ria singular, was singular. They were angry. They plural, were plural. So all of these are singular verbs, and all of these are the list of plural verbs, right? Singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. Okay. Okay, now there are few sentences on your screen. There are few sentences on your screen you can see. So what you need to do, if any, find out the errors in the following sentences, right? If you think that these sentences do have any kind of error, you just need to find the error in these sentences, right? And if you think that there is no error in the sentences, then you just need to tell me that what is the subject in each sentences given here. So let us read out the sentences first. The introduction to various new courses have been provided in the new brochure of the college. The earlier videos of the recently passed actor is trending on the internet from the last week. The various consequences of the decision taken by the finance ministry was not foreseen by the bureaucrats. The strain of all difficulties and vexations and anxieties are more than he could bear. The increasing mechanization of life have led us farther away from daily contact with nature and the crafts of the farm. Next is the behavior of young boys. The behavior of young boys are the subject of comment the world over. Next is the box of eggs are lying on the table. Africa is the second largest continent and it contains about 1/5 of all the land in the world. So in front of you on your screen, there are total 8 sentences and you just need to find error in the sentences. And again, if you're unable to find error in these sentences, my dear students, you just need to find that what is the subject in the given in the sentences, right? Okay. So if I talk about the first sentence, the introduction to various new courses have been provided in the new brochure of the college. So what is provided in the new brochure of the college? The introduction. What is provided in the new brochure of the college? The introduction is provided. So the subject of the sentence here is introduction. So you need to tell me introduction is singular or plural. Introduction is a singular subject, and with singular subject we always use a singular verb, but we used here have, and we know from here that have is what? Have is a plural verb, whereas has is singular verb. So what we are going to do? The subject here is introduction. So the correct is the introduction to various courses, new courses, has been provided in the new brochure of the college. Okay. Coming to the next sentence, the earlier videos of the recently passed actor is trending on the internet from the last week. Now, what is trending on the internet? The earlier videos. We are talking about the earlier videos here. So videos are singular or plural? Of course, we all know video is singular and videos are plural. So the earlier videos of the recently passed actor are trending on the internet from the last week. Because our subject is plural here, that's why we need to take plural verb here. Now, coming to the third sentence. The various consequences of the decision taken by the finance ministry was not foreseen by the bureaucrats. Now, what is not foreseen by the bureaucrats? Of course, the various consequences. Now, again, the subject in this sentence is plural. So our verb should also be plural. So the correct sentence is the various consequences of the decision taken by the finance ministry were not foreseen by the bureaucrats. Okay. The strain of all the difficulties and vexations and anxieties are more than he could bear. So what are more than he could bear? The verb here is are. Strain. Now, strain is singular or plural? Of course, strain is a singular subject. So, with singular subject, a singular verb will come is. The strain of all the difficulties and vexations and anxiety is more than he could bear. The increasing mechanization of life have led us farther away from daily contact with nature and the crafts of the farm. Now, what has taken us farther away? The verb is have. Increasing mechanization. So, increasing mechanization is singular or plural? It is singular. See, you need to remember one thing. You all need to remember one basic thing here, that if we talk about noun, when we add s or es to a noun, it becomes plural noun. For example, book, books, table, tables, right? But the same thing is opposite in the case of verbs. If we add S or es to first form of verb, it will become singular. He walks, they walk. When we add s or es to a noun, the noun becomes plural. When we add s or es to a verb, the verb become singular. So he walks, he is singular. So with first form of verb, s or es is used. They walk, they is plural. With this only first form of verb is used, right? Now, yes, the increasing mechanization of life have led us farther away from daily contact with nature and the crafts of the farm. Now, increasing mechanization is the subject here, which is singular. So here it comes has. The behavior of young boys are the subject of comment the world over. So what is the subject of comment? Behavior. Not young boys are the subject. The behavior of young boys is the subject of comment. So behavior is the subject here. So behavior is what? Singular. So here it comes is. The box of eggs are lying on the table. Now, if it was written in a manner, eggs are lying on the table, then your subject here is eggs, which is plural, so R is totally correct. Now, eggs are not lying on the table. The box of eggs are lying on the table. Now, box is again singular, so your verb should be the box of eggs is lying on the table. Africa is the second largest continent and it contains about 1/5 of all the land in the world. It is used for Africa here, right? So now, when your subject is singular, your verb should also be singular. So in this sentence, S or ES is added to first form of verb. So with contains, right? So the correct sentences are: the introduction to various new courses has been provided in the new brochure of the college. The earlier videos of the recently passed actor are trending on the internet from the last week. The various consequences of the decision taken by the finance ministry were not foreseen by the bureaucrats. The strain of all the difficulties and vexations and anxieties is more than he could bear. The increasing mechanization of life has led us farther away from daily contact with nature and the crafts of the farm. The behavior of young boys is the subject of comment of the world over. The box of eggs is lying on the table. Africa is the second largest continent and it contains about 1/5 of the land in the world. See, we have not learned anything difficult yet. It is very easy. We have learned just a simple thing, dear students, that a verb depends on subject. Subject singular, verb is also singular. Subject plural, verb is also plural. And in all these sentences, we just need to find the subject, and then according to the subject, the verb should be used. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Find errors if any. Okay. The cricketer and the pianist is not going with us. The cricketer and pianist is not going with us. The orator and statements were able to convince them. The orator and statement and the statesman, sorry, were able to convince them. A blue and orange dress were bought by her. A blue and an orange dress were bought by Her, my friend and philosopher is here. My friend and my philosopher are here. He introduced me to his mother, who is a doctor and a singer. Okay. So there are total 9 sentences in front of us. Let us figure out, let us see, do they have any errors or not? Okay. So always remember, if there are two subjects in a sentence, if there are how many subjects? Two subjects in a sentence. Subject 1 and subject 2. If these two subjects are joined with the help of, and let us see, the cricketer and the pianist. Cricketer and pianist are two subjects here. The orator and the statesman, two subject. A blue and orange dress, two. My friend and philosopher, again two subject. He introduced me to his mother, who is the doctor and singer. Okay, doctor and singer, right? So if there are two subjects in a sentence connected through and if, and articles. How many articles are there in English? There are just 3 articles in English: a, an, and the. And if an article is used before both the subjects, it can be a, it can be an, it can be the, any article. What I'm saying, if there are two subjects in a sentence, if both the subjects are joined with the help of and if an article is used, if an article is used before both the subject, as in this sentence, the cricketer and the pianist, then it means we are talking about two persons, and that's why plural verb is used. See, first see rule number 3. If there are two subjects in a sentence and an article is used with both the subject, that means two persons are being discussed in the sentence, and for two persons, plural verb will be used. Clear? Now, again, if there are two subjects in a sentence, again joined with the help of and if an article is used only before the subject one, article used only before subject one, then in that case singular verb is used. See, if there are two subjects again connected through and if an article is used only before the first subject, again we know there are 3 articles, a, and the, then in that case singular verb is used. And the reason behind this is, when there is article only before the first subject, that means both the subjects are a single person, right? If I say the actor and singer is busy, right, this means both the actors are and singer is just a one person. There is a one single person who is an actor as well as who is a singer, right? So this is that's why it's happening here. Here, Now let us consider rule number 2. If there are two subjects in a sentence and an article is used with only initial subject, that means a single person is being discussed in the sentence, and for single person, singular verb will be used. Very simple stuff. Two subjects connected with and, both have articles, plural verb, because there are two people in the sentence. Two subjects again connected with and if an article is used only with the first subject, then in that case is singular verb, because both the subjects are the same person. It's a single person, right? See, now let us consider the sentences. The cricketer and the pianist is not going with us. Two subjects, both have articles, the, so two persons. Here it comes are. The cricketer and pianist is not going with us. Two subjects. Just the cricketer has article before it. Single person is singular verb. It means there is a single person who is cricketer and as well as he is a pianist. The orator and statesman. Orator, statements. Only the first subject has the article before it, so was. The orator and the statesman were able to convince them. Two subjects, two articles, plural verb. Correct. A blue and orange dress were bought by her. Two subject, just single article, which means a single dress has two shades of color in it, blue and orange. Dress was bought by a blue and an orange dress. That means she bought two dresses. One is of blue color and one is of orange color. A blue and an orange color were bought by her. My friend and philosopher is here. And just friend, my, singular. So there are two subjects, friend and philosopher. Only before friend, my is mentioned. My is also a determiner, right? The same thing is going to happen in this sentence. My friend and my philosopher are here. Now, both friend and philosopher have different adjectives before them. Then in that case, two different persons, plural verb. He introduced me to his mother. He introduced just to a single person, his mother, who is a doctor and a singer. So the mother is not two different persons. Mother is a single person. She is a doctor and she is also a singer. So we will delete this A from here, right? So if you are describing a single person, if you people are describing a single person, then in that case as well, only the first subject is going to take the article before it, like in the what happens in the sentence number 9. He introduced me to his mother, who is a doctor and singer. Or it would be have been written in a way which, if I he introduced me to his father and mother, who are doctor and singer, respectively. Now, He introduced me to his father and mother. Now there are two persons, one is father, one is mother, and one of them is doctor and one of them is singer, right? So two different persons, two different professions, and in ninth sentence, he introduced me to his mother who is a doctor and a singer. No, who is a, just one person is there, so who is a doctor and singer, right? Is that clear to everyone, dear students? You just need to understand the basics of English, and you just need to apply those in the given sentences. There is nothing complicated here. There are just simple rules. We just need to remember those rules, and we just need to apply those rules in these sentences, right? Okay. Okay, find errors if any. The actors, along with the crew members, have gone out for dinner. Garima, as well as her parents, are coming. He, like his colleagues, have been led off. She, unlike her sister, is very beautiful. All but Seema was absent. Anjali, with her friends, have gone abroad. Okay. Now, the actor along with, okay, you need to find errors if any, right? So, before that, I would like to tell you one thing. Okay, let us first consider the rule behind it, the logic behind it. If the subject of the sentence are joined by the following words, then the verb should be used which will agree with the first subject. Okay, now this rule says if there are two subjects in a sentence and the subjects are joined with the following words, like as well as along with together with and not in addition to but beside except rather than accompanied by like unlike no less than nothing but etc. Okay, if there are two subjects that are connected with each other through these words, then in that case the verb should be according to the subject one, which means if subject one is singular, verb should also be singular. If subject one is plural, verb should also be plural. Now let us understand why this happens. Okay, all of the words mentioned in the list, like along with, except, but, like, unlike, nothing but, all of these words are preposition. All of these words are prepositions. If the two subjects are joined together with the help of these words, right, and these words are what? Preposition. You need to remember this thing. I will be explaining this thing in the further videos, in the coming videos, right? But for now, you just need to remember it. I'm not explaining it right now, otherwise it will complicate the things, right? You just need to remember one very simple thing, that prepositions always and always take objects after them. What I'm saying, prepositions always and always take objects after them, right? I will be explaining this concept in our next video, right? But for now, you just need to learn this, that preposition always take objects after them. So dear students, if there are two subjects connected through preposition, then the subject coming after the preposition will become what? Object, as preposition always take what after them? Object after them, right? So that's why this is the basic reason why, according to the first subject, we consider the verb of the sentence. I hope you people are getting my point. I am repeating it. Preposition take objects after them. If there are two subjects joined to each other through preposition, then the second subject will automatically become an object, because preposition take an object after them. And this is the basic reason why the first subject is considered while taking the verb for the sentence. Now, see, the actor along with the crew members. Now here along with is given, is preposition, actor, crew members, it will become object, it will become subject. Actor is singular, verb should also be singular. Garima as well as her parents, as well as preposition, her parents will become object, Garima will become subject. So now your subject is singular, so the verb will be is. He, like his colleagues, have been laid off. Like is the preposition, his colleagues will become object, as preposition take object after them. He is the subject, has. See, let me clear you one thing. Garima as well as her parents are coming, right? So here Garima is the singular subject. The correct answer is. Now, if this sentence would have been written in a manner, her parents as well as Garima, right? As well as the preposition here, Garima will become object, as preposition always take object after them. Her parents is the subject here. Subject is plural. So her parents as well as Garima are coming. Similarly, Ram as well as Riya is coming. The preposition here is as well as, right? And Riya will become object after preposition, objects come. And Ram will be the subject, which is singular, so the verb is singular here. So whenever the words, the subjects are connected through prepositions, then in that case, according to the first subject, the verb is being chosen, right? The actor along with the crew members, along with is mentioned here, crew members object, actor subject, actor singular, verb singular. Garima as well as her parents is coming. As well as mentioned here, her parents is object, Garima is subject, singular, singular verb. My friend, unlike my cousins, is very cool. Unlike my cousins are object, my friend is subject, singular is. She, like her sisters, is very beautiful. Like is also mentioned in the list. Here it is. And her sisters is object, she is subject here. Very beautiful. All but Seema were absent. But Seema. Now all is plural, so were absent. Seema will become object here. Anjali with her friends. With this preposition, her friend will become object. Anjali is subject here, has gone abroad. Is that clear to one? How I hope you all have understood this concept, right? Now let us move further. Find errors if any. Neither Soha nor her friends is going on college trip. Either Garima or her friends has come. Not only the sailors but also the captains were drowned. Either she or I are mistaken. Our success or our failure are largely due to our hard work, right? See. So again, find errors if any. If you people think that there are certain errors in the given sentences, then you need to find out. Or if you think that all sentences are correct according to you, there is no error in any sentence, then you people just need to find out the subject in the sentence. So let us first talk about the subjects in the sentence. Neither Soha nor her friends. Soha, her friends. Either Garima or her friends, Garima, her friends. Not only the sailors, but also the captain, sailors, the captain. Either she or I. Our success or our failure are largely due to our hard work. So our success, our failure, right? So there are these subjects in the sentence. Okay, so what our next rule says, it says when two subjects are joined with the following conjunctions, then the verb is used according to the nearest subject, and in simpler language, in easy language, we can call this nearest subject subject to. This rule says if there are two subjects that are joined with the following conjunctions. Which conjunctions? Either or, neither nor, not only but also, none but. None but. Okay, right? So if these are connected, if there are two subjects that are connected through these conjunctions, then the second subject, or you can call it the nearest subject to the verb, right, should be considered while deciding the verb for the sentence, while deciding the verb for the sentence, right? See. Neither nor, either or, not only but also, either or. These are the conjunctions that are used in all these 5 sentences. Now, in first sentence, Soha is subject 1, her friends is subject 2, Garima is subject 1, her friends is subject 2, sailor is subject 1, captain is subject 2, she is subject 1, I is subject 2, success is subject 1, failure is subject to, right? So now you need to remember one thing, that in the case of preposition, while when the two subjects are joined with the help of preposition, then we are taking verb according to the first subject, and when the subjects are joined with the help of conjunction, a pair of conjunction, or you can say, then in that case we are taking verb according to the second subject of the sentence, right? See, so here the second subject is her friends, her friends. Here is the captain, I, our failure, right? So her friends is plural now, so is our. Neither Soha nor her friends are going on college trip. Now again in the second sentence, her friends is the second subject, has, have as her friends is plural, so has would be converted into have. Not only the sailors but also the captain. So the second subject here is the captain, which is singular, was. Either she or I, second subject is I, am. Our success or our failure, second subject is failure is, right? So the correct sentences are neither Soha nor her friends are going. This is, you can say nearest subject or you can say second subject. Her friends are, her friends have, sailors were, I am, failure is. So in case of preposition, my dear students, you need to take the verb according to the first subject, and in case of conjunction, you need to consider the second subject, and or you can call it the nearest subject to the verb while taking the verb of the sentence. Okay. So let us move forward. Okay, now let us have a quick section of vocabulary. So after every session, after each and every session of ours, in the last 10 to 15 minutes, we will be doing either a day we'll be doing vocabulary. On some days, we'll be learning idioms and phrases. On some days, we'll be learning phrasal replacement, one word substitution. So in last 10 to 12 minutes, we'll be doing a small section of vocab part, right? Okay. So today I'm taking 4 words that are almost similar to each other, and these words are explicit, implicit, illicit, and illicit. Almost same in pronunciation, right? So there are 4 words: explicit, implicit, illicit, and implicit. Now, first let us consider explicit. Explicit means explained, which means very clear and complete, which means fully revealed and expressed. That means if I write a sentence, it is fully cleared to you. If I say, you should sit on the 3rd seat, so it is fully explained that your seat is assigned 3rd number, in 3rd number, right? So explicit is very clear, complete, totally explained, fully revealed, and expressed. Synonyms. Synonyms are the words that are similar in meaning to the given word, right? Clear cut, unambiguous, definite, and expressed. Antonyms. Antonyms are opposite words. Antonyms are implicit, ambiguous, vague, unspecific. So if unspecific is antonym here, so we can also add specific in synonyms, right? Now, let us consider some sentences in which this word is used. The building was explicitly restricted to official personnel. So it has been clearly mentioned about the building that no official personnel is allowed to enter into the building. Explicitly, clear cut, restricted, very clearly, right? Changes to the property can't be done without their explicit consent. Okay, we cannot change their property, we cannot make changes to the property of their if they do not say clearly yes. Consent means to say yes, to accept anything. Right. Changes to the property can't be done without their explicit consent. If they clearly won't say yes, we can't make any change to their property. Now, the next word is implicit. See, you need to remember, students, that implicit is exactly the opposite of explicit. Explicit's opposite is implicit. Something which is suggested and not clearly expressed. Something which is suggested and not clearly expressed. So what this means, it means that you are getting, if I have given you a statement, you are getting the idea of my statement, but you do not have the proper meaning of my statement, right? You are getting a basic, a small little bit idea from my statement, but you are not getting a full meaning from my statement, right? So something which is suggested, it is suggested in it, but not clearly expressed. Now, if explicit and implicit are opposite to each other, then synonyms of explicit will become antonyms of implicit, and antonyms of explicit will become synonyms of implicit. So synonyms here are implicit, ambiguous, vague, unspecific. Antonyms are clear-cut, unambiguous, definite, and expressed. The handshake between the two men was an implicit agreement to the terms of the contact. Okay. So there are two people who are talking about some contact, who are talking about the, terms in the contact, the rules and regulations about the contact, and they haven't signed it yet. But at the end, if they are shaking their hands, that means they are agreed. But on papers, they haven't signed it. So it was their implicit agreement, which means by their handshake, it was they have accepted all the rules and regulations, right? So it is implicit because the paper are not signed yet. So explicit means very clear, complete, expressed, revealed, explained, and implicit means you just get an idea of that and which is not clearly expressed, right? Now, the next word is illicit. Illicit is unlawful, anything which the society does not accept. For example, if I say drinking while driving is illicit in India or is illicit in any country of the world. So it is unlawful, illegal. It is not accepted by the society. It is not sanctioned by the government. It is wrong. Something wrongdoing. Illicit is some wrongdoing. So illicit is illegal or disapproved by the society. Synonyms here are illegal, unlawful, illegitimate, right? Antonyms here are legal, lawful, and legitimate. He was arrested for selling illicit copies of the software, right? He was arrested for selling illegal copies of the software. That means the copies of the software were not legal. She had an illicit affair with her boss. Illegal affair, which is disapproved by the society, right? And the next word is illicit. To get, to try, to evoke something, to get a response and information from someone. She's been trying to elicit the details of the design from the famous designer. So she's trying hard that the designer should tell her some details of his famous design, right? To get a response information from someone, to evoke or draw out a reaction, answer, a fact, or someone. So it's like to provoke someone to give the details, right? So the synonyms here is educe, evoke, raise, and antonyms here are, the closed ones, not exactly opposite antonym is here. Illicit does not have any exact opposite antonym, right? So the closed one antonyms are neglect and overlook. She's been trying to elicit the support of their committee members. So she is been trying to get the support of their other committee members. So these were the 4 words. explicit, fully revealed, totally cleared, fully explained. Implicit, you just get the idea of something and which is not clearly expressed. Illicit, something which is illegal, not accepted by the society. Elicit, to get a response, to try to get something from someone, to try to evoke someone to speak something, to evoke or draw out a reaction, answer, or fact from someone. Elicit. So these were almost similar 4 words which we have learned today. So students, this was all about today's session, right? We have learned few rules about subject and verb. We have learned what a subject is. We have learned 4 new words today, right? So in our next class, we will be discussing the subject verb agreement further in deep details, right? Till then, you just need to revise it. You just need to go through one more time, which we have learned today, and we will be taking it further in our next class. Okay, students. Bye-bye.